So I'm over here in Covington. These people seem to be cool with it as far as exchanging advertisement dollars for airtime and charge your phone and things of that nature. Some of the stuff that I do, and they seem to be cool with it. But then you have people that's not cool that's over here too. So I mean, I'm not saying situations just like copacetic like that, but I did get some information and tip these people off from the news, and it gave me a strategic line and order fashion as far as being able to handle the situation that I'm in and describe to me the situation that I'm in. I just want to kind of describe it to people as best as possible in this episode and make it all make sense. These past, I'll say 10 to 15 videos. So like essentially what's going on is that like, you guys know I've talked about Pete Rose, so let's just use him for an example. Because he's the sample that they're using anyway for this matter. And for those that don't know, that may be too young, I got a lot of young followers. Pete Rose was like put in jail. Like he went to real jail, but in this scenario, they want to put me in a sample jail for betting against his home team, is what they called it. From what I remember when I was growing up, I don't know if they actually charged him with it. It was like some type of a tax charge, but from what I remember growing up, watching it, he essentially was betting against his own team, and they charged him with some taxes or evasion or something. I don't really know how long he did. I mean, this is not really to talk about him, but they're using me. I really respect him. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's one of the people I study in this tenure that I'm on. And I did go searching for some information and looked and found a video that was put up about a month ago with some old Pete Rose footage from a while ago. And that's where I'm basing most of this on. He was on the Tonight Show a while back in the 80s, I think. And that's when he got out and was describing what he went through when he was in there in the prison system. And I have been physically in the prison system before, just to kind of go into that a couple of times. Not in prison, but in jail. They could have possibly went to prison. And I sat down with a lady that was an Eastern Star, and she described to me my situation. And since then, I never had a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, since that time or whatever. So I got out of that scenario based upon sovereignty. So I know it's real. And she showed me how it was real. And I know it's real. However, the scenario I'm in now is like a sovereign. They want to put me in a sovereign scenario like Pete Rose, but worse because longer. 12 years, man. Essentially is what I'm looking at on an outlaw. I would call it an outlaw prison scenario, actually. And it could get worse, and based on that scenario even too. You know how it is in prison. You can go in maximum and minimum and all of that type of stuff. So I'm not saying that nowhere near to try to brag about it because it's based on some stuff and mistakes that I made with my children, myself, my family, based on just being in these streets, and I'm not saying I was necessarily morally right, from a perspective of that. From that perspective, I wasn't necessarily morally right, but I do feel like I still feel like I'm financially right. I'm going to prove that in the course of this. I do feel like I'm financially right. I'm totally financially innocent. Honestly, if I'm guilty, it's definitely because of the scenario. Anything that I'm guilty of is because of the scenario and the so-called employment position I was put in based upon being put into this scenario and moving back out here from when I was last out here when I was a youngster, and I was outlawed eventually. This is what it has led to now. That's what I'm going to go ahead and call it and claim it based upon a lot of scenarios that I'm not going to describe here on the camera. But yeah, that's what I'm in or whatever. So of course, when you send me money and stuff, and most people know, and donations, just to kind of cover that so they'll know it's like mailing someone money that was incarcerated. I mean, it's going to be accounted for. Everyone sees it. Your passwords and everything is visible to a certain extent because this net is how they turn it into an outlet for you, even as a sovereign. So even when you monetize and stuff, it's still like limited based upon this and that, unless I was able to move to where I really need to go and belong. And they're not going to let me go there right now, do that, because that's going to cost too much money, and they're still trying to. It's just like someone being locked up. They're still going to try to claim money. Excuse me, I want to put that in the video. They're still trying to, or the other device that was an accident. But they're still trying to claim money and things of that nature from trading and stuff that I did. So it's like I can't just leave it. That's why people that are incarcerated, they go through the same thing. You notice you're incarcerated, you have a banking number. You don't notice your number that you're incarcerated up under is a banking number. That's all it really is to them. So you're a number to them. And that's a banking number. And they're trading on that number on the stock exchange. New York Stock Exchange or whatever, and other stock exchanges too, foreign stock exchanges. So that's essentially what they're doing. Even when they bond you, that's just a bonding number. They go get stocks and bonds. Essentially off of your straw man, but it eventually just turns into a set of numbers over time. That's kind of like what happened to me. Like if I go back into my straw man, we talking about over 100 and something million, they said, down in Georgia. That they like trying to use as a weapon. You know what I'm saying? And that's groups. I can't even control it. It's just groups that own that now. So me, myself, I'm not getting too personal. That's the scenario I'm in. So people that's donating, I mean, they're going to see it. Your donation will be accepted. It's really tax deductible for you, honestly, because I'm up under taxes. This is the scenario, what it is or whatever. I'm up under taxes. So anything I get is to avoid being further annuited under taxes, which could lead to death. Like, taxes is death when you look it up. You know what I'm saying? Tax is to eventually, it's like killing someone. It's the same word. Like it's eventually pushing someone into death. When you tax someone. And I'm being taxed. For real. As a sovereign, like from these years of being out of this. It's been over 9 years now. So I've been out of this and, haven't been a part of the straw man stuff. And come to find out these people that own your straw man, eventually they'll come out. They introduce themselves to you, like, hey, yeah, we're the people that's what they did to me. That's essentially what happened to me. So that's the situation I'm in. So, yeah, it's going to look so like I'm describing this because of my appearance at times, and it's going to continue because I'm being held. And yeah, I am worth millions of dollars, but I'm being held because of this. And I understand now what I'm being held for. Overstand, actually. What I'm being held for, I'm going to handle it properly. So the agreement with them is over. It's about to shut down. I'm not going to too much be blasting them on video anymore. In Covington, they described to me what's going on in various other cities involved anyway with this, because it's a sovereign scenario in counties actually anyway. So it's not even the city of Covington. So we'll talk more about it. I'm out of here. Someone's calling me from Nicaragua and I'm not answering. You guys stay vigilant. Namaste.